So how to fall a tree if you're not experienced. This would be Jake's second attempt ever. First attempt went very bad, but I'm going to give some tips and some pointers here to make it much easier.
Jake! Hey! Turn your saw. Walk around that and get that pole saw. Just in case this thing was to break off there, I don't want it breaking the pole saw.
Okay.
And take a good look at your hinge, because from what I'm seeing up here on this side, you probably have way too much still.
Okay.
You're going into it nice though, like nice and slow, the way you should. Take your time. Every once in a while, you don't just stare at the cut. You gotta stare, you gotta look up every once in a while to see if you got any movement happening and stuff.
Okay.
If you're just staring at that cut, it's gonna be hard to know when it takes off, because it only moves like that much before the tree's already all the way over center. So here's where you're gonna see your movement. So you're like, you look, checking your cut. It should be an up down the whole time.
All right.
Take your time. What do you got on that other side? You got too much? Is it like kind of like I was saying?
Yeah, too much on this
Okay.
side.
Well, you know what you got to do then. Good job, man.
Cool.
That was really good. You let the hinge do the work. It came off about as easy as it could have.
Cool.
What you could do after you get that little bit of brush cleaned up, you may take this thing, cut it into a couple sections, and then let me just drop shit onto those few pieces.
Okay.
Because I'll cut them into firewood chunks on my way down, so they're easy to be loaded.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Good job with that cut, though.
Thank you.
That was 1,000 times better than last time. But you could have looked up a little sooner.
Okay.
Because you had a lot of movement up here before you ever looked. It was already going.
All right.
So that's usually, if you're looking up, you can see it do its first movement, and you'll know, okay, I can tickle this cut a little bit. But a lot of times I'm watching the tree go over, not the cut. Okay. You know, so yeah. The tree's the important part. The stump's gonna be right there. It's not going nowhere. That tree's going somewhere, so that's what you should be watching the whole time. But I could see why you were looking at the cut, because you're just trying to line your cut up and stuff. So that all makes sense. But you got to watch when you're falling one, especially. Okay. You got to watch the tree. Right. But your cut was straight. It looks good. Your hinge looks good from up here. Right on. Oh, Jake got it done. There it is. It's perfect. Kept it, swung it off of those, which it wanted to break those limbs, but yeah, he did a good job. Plus there's that little green head right there, the water main. So yeah, he did a really good job. His hinge looks great down there, way better than last time. So what I've got is this this thing is so rotten. I don't really have a game plan yet, but I'll figure one out when I get up there.
So as I do this entire tree, my focus is to keep every piece in towards the trunk and not break any sprinkler heads. There's a ton of them, but they're mainly on the outer edge and then down the center. But as I do this tree, some weird stuff starts happening, and I was absolutely unaware of any of this, so it definitely caught me off guard.
Make me a little crash pad that goes like right across this right here. Yeah, because then maybe I could just crash this top onto it also. Because this damn thing is so shaky, it's gnarly. So that one's right there. I've got this top. It is so spongy, and it is in bad shape. I mean, in hindsight, I should have probably tied into this other oak, but yeah, I didn't. So cool, right on. That should help a lot. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna put you on my helmet.
Okay, so I know what you're thinking. How does this guy go from telling us he's about to put us on his helmet to being strapped to his windshield wiper. I'm having just like the YouTube channel seems doomed, but I have nothing but camera problems. Every piece of equipment I buy breaks as far as camera stuff, and this was no different. My helmet mount totally broke as I tried to connect it. So as it hit the ground, I had Jake kind of clean it off as best as he could. Told him go ahead and put it onto the truck and just point it my direction. The other big issue here was, as I went back to edit this looked like I did the tree at night. It was so incredibly dark, and after I get down here, I will show you a clip of how dark it actually was. But yeah, it wasn't viewable. Like, so it was pretty bad. So it took me a while of adjusting and messing with the brightness and contrast and stuff to get it so it's at least viewable here. We're gonna piece this thing down, and then I'll show you the log, and then the chaos that kind of I did my best to ignore the entire time that continued. I will do a bit of explaining on what and like how, why all this was even happening. So enjoy this for a second, and I'll talk to you towards the end. Okay, so my camera mount is broke. Alright, so about the title of the video. As I started to work here, I noticed the woods that day, the wooded areas were just screaming loud with cicadas. I'm not somebody who keeps up with the news and stuff like that, so kind of caught me off guard. Something I definitely wasn't paying attention to, and I started to notice that we were like almost being attacked by bugs repeatedly. And then I started to notice that they were everywhere. And then I'm like, wow, what is going on? So I will show you how extreme this got, but I had not seen any of these until all of a sudden there was an absolute and complete infestation everywhere. And I'll show you that here.
That's it, I'll show you when it's cleaned up. Well, there's the tree. It's all cleaned up. It ended up having crazy root rot. And that's the reason it was shaking like crazy up there. It makes sense. That hole goes way down in there. So yeah, clean that up. And then look at this. Yeah, they're all over this maple. That maple tree's covered. The locusts have covered everything here. That's all locusts that are all over the ground. They're everywhere. Like look at this branch. They're covered. Gross. And then I was gonna blow the drive off because I was like, well, there's leaves and stuff all over, little buds and stuff. That's locusts. I've blown all this off for the most part, and there they all are. They're so disgusting. They're everywhere. You can hear them off in the background right now. So just like landing on us the whole time. There's one that just lost his shell and he's white. That one just came out of that shell. He's white. And they sit there and they start to get their color back again. It's the most disgusting creatures. Catch you on the next one. Stay safe. Bye.